The CEO sold his stock 2 days after the announcement. 2 days after telling the world the PlayStation physical disc is dead. No more physical games after January 2028. Hiroki Totoki dumps 56% of his personal Sony holdings, 225,000 shares, $4.7 million. Boom, gone. The chairman sold too, and the chief strategy officer, same day, July 3rd, 10.5 million combined. These people obviously are not betting on the future they just announced. He's cashing out of it. This week, the last air gap closes. The permissionless base layer gets colonized by the institutions it was built to escape, and the world's largest security contractor leaves its cryptographic keys on somebody else's server. 3 stories, same world, total enclosure. July 1st, Sony drops a blog post. It was clean and cheerful. Physical game discs are done. After January 2028, it's an all-digital future. They frame it as a consumer preference. Digital sales are already 85% of revenue. The market has spoken. 2 days later, July 3rd, Totoki, the CEO, he sells. Not a scheduled divestiture. No diversification language. Nothing in the footnotes to explain it. He sold 56% of his shares, more than half of everything he owned in the company. The chairman, Yoshida, on the same day, he sold 400,000 shares. And the chief strategy officer, Matomo, he sold on the same day too, 25,000 shares. All within 48 hours of the blog post that said gaming's future is digital, and the digital is good for everybody. The company says, discs are obsolete. Digital is the future. This is what gamers want. And then, quietly, the 3 people who know exactly where Sony is headed, they sold their shares. 56%. When an executive dumps more than half of what they own, they are not hedging. They are not rebalancing. They are telling you one thing the press release can't say. The fans noticed. 250,000 signatures in 8 days. Boycotts, canceled subscriptions. The PS5 Pro disc drive, the $80 add-on people specifically bought to future-proof their console, it's dead. It's dead hardware for anything released after 2027. And the stock, it's up 7%. Wall Street loved it because from a margin perspective, this is the easiest layup ever. Kill used games, no more GameStop trade-ins, no more lending discs, no more $40 used copies competing with your $70 digital price. Monopoly pricing. Forever. And while this is all going on, they also announced the PS3 and Vita stores are just shut down July 2027. Games you bought, paid for, gone. The store launched in 2006. That's 21 years of purchases. The physical disc was the last air gap. No disc means every time you launch something, Sony has to authenticate it. No disc means they can revoke everything, anytime, and you have no recourse. You're not buying software anymore. You're renting a node that phones home. The CEO knows. That's why he sold. Sony killed the last consumer air gap. That's one door. But this week, something bigger happened. The architects of global financial control looked at the technology designed to destroy them and put their name on it. July 9th, Swift announces its proprietary blockchain is live, operational. 17 of the biggest banks on earth, BNY, Citi, HSBC, Wells Fargo, all running live transactions. Tokenized deposits, 24/7 cross-border money movement. They built it in 9 months. The press release uses phrases like enhanced global liquidity efficiency, improved client experience. They're already promoting the next phrase, programmable money, agentic commerce. The language, completely sterile. The ambition is everything. The blockchain was invented for one reason, the 2008 financial collapse. The white paper dropped into the wreckage of a crisis caused by the same institutions that are now, this week, running tokenized deposits on their own chain. The architecture was permissionless, sovereign, designed to route around central banks. Money that no institution could freeze, censor, or inflate. That was the point. SWIFT moves $5 trillion every day. The US government uses SWIFT as a financial weapon. Cut a country off, and you cut it off from global commerce. Iran, Russia, North Korea. SWIFT is not neutral infrastructure. It's an enforcement mechanism. And now it has a blockchain. Same cryptography, same distributed ledger, but the master changed. The technology of resistance just got rebuilt as technology of total surveillance. Every transaction, visible. Every movement, tracked. Every token, issued, controlled, revocable. By the same institutions, the technology was built to escape. This isn't adoption. This is enclosure. They saw the tool, they understood the threat. If millions of people park value on a permissionless chain, Swift loses its monopoly on global settlement. So they rebuilt it inside their walls. 9 months, 17 banks, before anyone else could do it outside. The banks are testing blockchain. They're testing whether they can control it before it controls them. Sony killed the disk. Swift colonized the chain. Same move. Take the thing that gives people independence and rebuild it so the institution holds every key. And if you're thinking, fine, crypto, gaming, whatever, this doesn't touch me, the third story is for you because it proves something simple. If the biggest security contractor on earth can't protect its keys in the cloud, neither can you. July 7th, we have a threat actor. His handle, 888. Posts on a cybercrime forum for sale. 35 gigs of data from Accenture's Azure DevOps. The source code, RSA keys, SSH keys, Azure access tokens, screenshots, all included as proof. Accenture confirms within 24 hours. They say it's isolated, it's remediated, no impact on operations. They do not say what was taken. They do not explain how cryptographic keys, the things that authenticate their entire infrastructure, were sitting somewhere a single person could read. Let me tell you who Accenture is. 700,000 employees. They run infrastructure for governments, banks, militaries, Fortune 500 companies. Their entire pitch is move to the cloud, we'll handle security. Trust us. The RSA keys, gone. SSH keys, gone. Azure tokens, gone. All of it parked on somebody else's server, and one person got in. And here's the thing. This isn't about Accenture's messing up. Accenture has more security budget than you will ever see. Dedicated teams monitoring, compliance, audits, and still one breach, one forum post, 35 gigs, sold to whoever had the crypto to buy it. The pattern is the same every week. Remote execution is compromised by default. If your data, your keys, your code, if it lives on hardware you can't touch, in a data center you can't walk into, it's not secure, it's not yours, it's parked, it's waiting. The cloud isn't a vault, it's someone else's computer. And someone else's computer gets you breached. 3 doors, same lock. Sony killed the disk. 2 days later, the CEO sold half his stock. He knows exactly what he's building. A platform where you own nothing. Every launch phones home, and there's nobody to compete on price. Swift colonized the chain. 17 banks, 9 months. And technology of sovereign money rebuilt his permissioned corporate ledger. Accenture proved what keeps getting proven. 700,000 employees, bottomless budget, RSA keys on Azure, breached, air gaps. That's the thing under all 3 of these. Physical media, local execution, keys you hold, not keys you rent. Infrastructure you can touch. The disk, that never was. Every institution in this episode is making the same bet, that you won't notice until you reach for something you bought and it's gone. That the word ownership can be quietly deleted from culture and nobody will fight. They sold it, you rent. The technology works, the question is, who owns it?